Feel Good Friday.
Now it is 8 o'clock on the Feel Good Friday evening show. Time for the Rock Half Hour, and I am also thrilled. Let's cut this and let's have this.
It's Christmas!
Because we have right opposite me, hello, Noddy Holder.
Hello there, how are you?
I am fine, how are you?
I'm in a good rocking mood tonight.
Are you, indeed?
Yes, certainly am.
Yeah, well, I'm thrilled to announce the rock legend, actor, radio presenter and television personality, fresh from Tuesday night's Brit Awards. How was that?
It was very exciting, really. It's been a few years since I've been there, especially backstage.
Well, we all know about the Liam Gallagher incident.
Yes, the Liam Gallagher. Well, that's what I was there for, really, there from the point of view of presenting. Nobody knew Liam was coming. They didn't think anybody was going to come and collect the award.
Oh, right.
And he turned up on the night with a few of his cronies, and he'd obviously been to the pub before he turned up. He didn't know he was there particularly. He didn't know that actually won the award. And of course, when he came on, he was, he got the award, and he got this very expensive radio mic as well that they gave all the presenters and the artists when they came on stage. Of course, Liam being Liam, he wanted to leave his mark on the Brits.
Yeah,
there's always an exciting bit at some part of the Brits every year where somebody has to be a bit rock and roll, and of course it happened to be Liam the other night.
Yeah.
And he threw not only the microphone into the audience, but he threw the Brit into the audience as well. So the Brit organisers were very
They didn't get that back either, I don't think, did they?
I don't think they did, no.
No.
Well, there was a mass, there was just a big surge for it, they all jumped on the person who
if anyone's got it, bring it over here, we'd like it.
It's gonna happen.
Cheshire Silk 106.9.
Who's the most famous person in your mobile? In your iPhone, actually, yeah?
The most famous person? Probably Ozzy Osbourne.
Really?
Because he's pretty well known, isn't he?
Yes, he
so
is
he's
indeed.
Probably the most famous.
Fantastic.
I've got people who I know the phone numbers of that are more famous.
Yeah.
But I don't keep them in my iPhone.
Well, in your iPhone.
Because I don't call them very often.
Do you call him often? Do you talk to Ozzy?
Not now, but because he doesn't live here, he lives in LA. But yes, when he's over, I do see him now and again when he's over here.
Sophie Yates.
Your station now, Cheshire Silk 106.9.
Go on.
Baby, baby, baby!
Blimey!
Anyway.
The levels are going crazy at the moment. Anyway.
I'll have to back off, yeah. I keep forgetting to back off.
So, should we talk a bit about Slade?
Sure.
Let's do that. Do you want to fire anything off?
Well, we started in 1966. We were originally called the In-Betweens. And we were in various bands in the Midlands, in different bands. I'd already had my first band at school from when I was about 12, 13 years old. So I'd been playing quite a long time up to 1960. And I'd had two bands then and worked in two bands professionally before I joined the guys that eventually became Slade. So we formed in 66. Then we slogged around for the next 5 years, playing all over the country. We played in Europe quite a bit, without any hit records. And we were quite a big name on the live circuit. We could fill out, gigs without even having a hit record. And then by chance, in 1969, we met a guy called Chas Chandler, who came to the recording studio. We'd actually been put in a recording studio to make what did become our first album. But it was originally planned just to be a load of demos as an audition for a recording contract. And the head of the recording company, Fontana Records, which was part of the big Philips group at the time, it's a massive record label. He said, "This is so good, I want to release it as your first album."
Cheshire Silk 106.9.
People have been getting in touch on the Facebook, good old Facebook.
Yeah.
And they've been talking about, will you ever do, an act together, maybe a tour somewhere at some point? Will you ever get back together and
reform the original lineup? It's never going to happen now. People have asked us for years to reform, but it won't ever happen because too much time's gone by now, and we're not. Well, I'm certainly not one for going backwards and moving backwards. If I'd have done it, I'd have done it years ago. But you can't just. People say, "Well, why don't you get together and just do a charity gig or a one-off?" But you can't just do that when you've not played together for so long.
Yeah,
you have to rehearse for ages. You have
yeah.
to get a road crew. You have to rehearse a lighting show. You have to rehearse a production. You can't just get up and play together after you've not played together for so long. You could, but it wouldn't be very good.
Yeah,
you know, it wouldn't be as good as it could be. And then, of course, when you start to do, say you did half a dozen gigs or something, then the record company would want you to do some new songs on an album. Then you'd have to go out and tour and promote that album. And then what turns into a couple of 3 months nice, happy-go-lucky project then turns into a 2-year project or a 3-year project where you got to tour the world.
Sophie Yates.
Your station, Cheshire Silk 106.9.
You've got a few questions.
I have
that
here,
you've
yes,
had in
there's
from
a
Facebook.
few coming here.
Yes.
Alan Taylor here, he said, can you ask Noddy, would he consider doing a charity gig with the original members? He asked if I remember sending a wedding card to a couple in Telford. They must have sent me a card to be signed and I sent it back.
Yes.
If so, and Alan knows it's a bit late, but I don't know what he means by that. He's always thanking me. I says, but thanks, Noddy. Well, we're not going to do it. I explained earlier why we couldn't do a
Yes.
charity gig with the original members, so I've
Yeah.
answered that one. Ian Ball here, he said, can Noddy tell us the story behind the writing of a song? It was a song called Pook Hill. The story behind Pook Hill, actually, was, it was on the Beginnings album, and it was our very first album, and it was actually, it's a song about our very first photograph session.
Right.
When we had our first album out, it was called Beginnings, we had to have an album sleeve. And the Pook Hill was a little sort of quarry near my mum and dad's house in the Midlands. And we actually had the photo session on New Year's Day in I think it was 1969 we had the picture took. And the photographer, for some strange reason, made us strip off to the waist. And we lay behind some bushes and he did some arty-farty shots.
Yeah.
You know, with all this snow around us, and we were stripped off the way. When the sleeve came out, all you could see was our foreheads and our hands in front of it. You couldn't tell we hadn't got tops. So we froze to death in this snow for absolutely no reason whatsoever. And Pook Hill, the song Pook Hill, is all about the story of that photograph session. What a waste of time it was. So that was the story of that. And I had one more here from Sean Worth. He said, any chance of you joining AC/DC if they asked you again? Now, Sean, there's no chance of me joining AC/DC, no, I'm afraid.
Short and sweet.
Cheshire Silk 106.9.
With regards to this this thing about it Far, Far Away getting re-released and downloaded,
Yes.
I don't really know much about it, but as I said about the Christmas record, it's the same with a lot of music. Around the world, these things happen and you don't really get wind of them yourself until somebody makes you aware of them. You know, people think that you set up these things to happen, but you don't. You know, other people do it. It's an idea that other people have.
Yes.
And then generally, most of these things you're not aware of till probably months after the event, and it's already in the process.
Yeah.
But, you know, whatever... If it's something, this one apparently is for the heroes, isn't it?
It is Helpful Heroes, yeah.
Which is, you know, it's a great cause, so I have nothing against people doing these sort of things. Yeah, it's good.
We're very privileged to have you here at Cheshire Silk,
I've enjoyed
Noddy.
it. You've done
Thank
a
you
great
very
job.
much.
Well, you're doing a great job, and you will continue to do a great job. You've been very good.
So, shall we sign off?
Keep on rocking!